There we go. Okay, I am getting everything set up now, so
Okay.
I got YouTube live streaming, Odyssey is live streaming, and so is Rumble. I stopped using freaking Minds, so I've been posting everything from Rumble onto Minds so that everybody can see it. So we should be good on everything. Now I'm gonna go grab my coffee and start it up here at
Yeah, it's working.
on the hour. Everything coming through on your side?
Yeah, it is. Just turn my volume up. Yeah, it's working, coming through fine. At the moment, it's just your. Yeah, you're on just your screen now. Yeah, that's it. I haven't put myself on screen yet.
Okay, that's fine.
I try it now.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to record. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've got my mic over yet. Shit. Hello. Excuse me. Okay. Recording. To anyone that's started watching this now, we're just getting ready to start the stream in a couple of minutes. We started coming on a bit earlier because we've had some technical issues in the past. So one show we did a few weeks ago, we missed the first 20 minutes of it on YouTube. It was on the other platforms, but it didn't go on YouTube. So this is why we do it this way. So there we go. What is my dog doing? Oh, wrong one.
I'm back. So, I was sitting there. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. I was just looking at my phone. I see you've got your screen on, yeah? If you want for the fact it'd see us on the screen as well, I think we could use that to monitor chat. But we can't. Can you change the size of it? You can't, can you? I don't think you can. I think it's going to be the full size, isn't it?
Yeah. I can do that, but like if I
it would have me on the screen, and it would be distracting, I think.
now
You can't just get the chat on there, can you? No.
Now let me see something real quick. On the YouTube, I could probably get the chat if I do a pop out on it. Let me see.
Oh yeah, through OBS, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Do a pop out chat. And I hate when that happens. That little freaking tab on the bottom sticks.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay. Then I'll stop screen share and put the pop out for YouTube on there.
All right, that's working. Hang on.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect. Wait, hey,
Works
this
out
is
good.
it. That's excellent.
We can't do that on Discord either.
No.
That's pretty good.
How did you do that?
I just did screen share.
On OBS, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
No.
I went to the stream and it gives you the 3 buttons up on the top on YouTube.
Right, yeah.
Up here. Well, you'll get a little lag, but up here on the top, and all I did is I clicked.
Pop out chat. Yes, I see it. Yeah.
I clicked on it.
Yeah.
And bam.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's much better, isn't it, for the future?
Yeah. Matter of fact, actually, that would work out even without it being on here. Just have the pop-up.
You can't chat. I can't chat in it, no. No, I can't chat in it. No, you can't chat. It doesn't matter, though. Because to be honest, we answer the chat through audio anyway, don't we? So it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like that. That's better. Saves having to go off the screen and we can see the messages, no?
Mm-hmm. The only reason why I didn't even think about it was because I tried it on Discord and it wouldn't let me do it. So.
Alright. Oh, that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
We're still in the tail end of a storm here, so I might be cut off here and there. It's not bad like it was, so hopefully it'll be fine. I'm just warning you in case I disappear, you know why. But hopefully it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm planning still to do my show with Mike tomorrow. If you want to join us, of course. Like that's it's up to you, of course.
Okay.
Because this bad storm coming in tomorrow, but it seems to be towards the north of the country is going to get worse than us. So I'm hoping we'll be fine.
They said it's going to warm up here, and with the warm up, we're getting storms too. It's going to be all week long.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's something else.
Because the storms we get, the tail ends of the hurricanes you get over there, that's what we get here.
Mm-hmm.
Goes from you and it comes across to us, and then it goes across to Europe from us.
The bad part is you guys get Canada's stuff too.
Probably, yeah.
Because it kind of goes into the jet stream and it just comes right across and hits you guys. So. I'm
not sure. I know several times I've heard them say we get the tail end of hurricanes. I'm not sure. I've never heard them say we get Canada's. So I didn't know if we did. I've never heard them say it. Maybe we do, but I've never heard it. Maybe we do though.
You guys get the Canadian cold fronts and stuff like that. Whenever you guys get the cold weather, it's coming off of Canada and Iceland and all that, and it's swooping down. Like you guys had that downward arc with the jet stream.
I don't know what we get, to be honest. I can't keep up with it anymore. I don't know.
With the weather.
I don't watch the news even, you know. Only when it's bad weather I follow the news just to know where I am, if I can record and whatever's going on, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
They don't cut me off.
Yeah.
They cut you off. They said enough is enough.
Yeah.
I was sitting in there smoking my cigarette, and I had I had to keep myself awake. I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was gonna fall asleep.
Oh no, it's early for you, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I ended
Or
up
late.
I ended up getting some sleep, and then I woke up around midnight. Decided to stay up because I knew if I fell asleep, I would be waking up at 6 o'clock running for the computer like I did yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it was Tuesday when it was Monday. So
I had Bob commented on one of my solo podcasts, saying that she's just on her 60th birthday. She's saying that she's had a lovely time over there, and she's telling everyone about us, about the shows and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
So seems to be enjoying herself anyway so far, which is nice.
And she sent me a message saying that she was supposed to send me a message for her birthday, and then I told her happy birthday, and she said that all of her devices except for her phone are pretty much out. So she said she did what she could to send a message. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that looks really nice. It's going to be good on the recording.
Yeah, it's much better. I don't have to come off the screen now. Because when I did the Water into Wine, when I split them up over 2 episodes, I had to use part of your recording, part of my. I think I told you, because when I came off my screen to look at the chat, well, it went all. How can I say? You could hear me talking, but because YouTube's a few seconds behind, it would look like a mess, so to speak. So this is why I used your recording there, and it worked out quite well, I think.
Yeah.
In the end, this is better anyway.
That does look good, and then people watching the stream can actually see the comments if they come in and stuff.
Oh.
Somebody here.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if it's Tan. I was picking on him earlier, so he might want to come in to take jabs at me. He should come in anyhow. He's an old man.
Yeah.
No, it's Jaffe. Oh my goodness. Freaking miracle from South Korea.
Hello. Is he on audio?
He's probably figuring it out.
Alright.
He said he wanted to come in last week, but he couldn't make it. I didn't send the link and everything, so.
He's gone. Oh, everything's red. My signal, oh god, everything's going to be cut off.
That's rough. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Everything's fine. Oh, it's gone to orange now, thank god. I thought we were going to be cut off there. You know what I mean? You know, the little graph bars. You know, they're hopefully green. It's all green now. And they all went red. I thought, oh no.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Jeffy tried to come on, and his I don't even know what you'd call it. Not an algorithm, but his ping was probably not right.
Yes, that's true. Because it's yeah, we have problems sometimes with Bob, didn't we? Because imagine a ping involved all of us all over the world trying to be in a conversation, and it's quite crazy sometimes.
Okay, so let me go ahead and first I'll shut off that music. And here in a minute, yeah, I'm gonna do my countdown and hit record. You did the topic last time, right?
Yeah, I've got a topic. I got an idea for a topic this week, but I know we'll just do it as it comes, as a flow. We can include the topic and then do whatever talk whatever we want. It's up to you.
I should call it the introduction more than the topic, just the introduction.
Yeah, introduction, yeah.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you can, yeah, yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, now. Hello everybody and welcome back to Old Men Talking. This is the 10th episode and we have 2 more to go until the end of our season. I believe Jaffe Ryder is trying to come in to hang out with us today. I'm not sure. Is that you, Jaffe?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. There you go.
Oh, great. Yeah, next week I'd like to be on camera, actually.
All you gotta do is turn your camera on.
Well, it's not set up from here.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No, I got to go to a different location, but that's the plan.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, like I was saying...
Good to finally connect. Got the times worked out here. What a son of a bitch this has been getting it straight, so, yeah.
So, we finally started recording. We got the episode going. Here in the last 2 episodes, it's been pretty laid back. We haven't really come up with any topics because that's originally how this series was supposed to go. We're just basically we're supposed to be laid back until Karma came up with the idea of making topics and shit. That kind of blew that out of the water, you know, so... John said he had something he wanted to talk about before you came in, so I figured I'd just let him talk for a second and then we can go from there.
Yeah, what I was going to say, you said we talk about anything, as you said, is about the weather, how it's different of now to when we were younger, especially in my case anyway. When I grew up, we had no like central heating or anything like that. We used to have all the frost on the inside of the windows, and it was way colder the winters back when I was a youngster to what they are now. They're just not the winters we had when I was young. Definitely not. I don't know if they blame it on global warming or what. I don't know, but I definitely don't feel it's the same winters as what when I was young. Even the summers can't down to that. They tended to be hotter, and now they're just rained out most of the time now. You know, it's not summer anymore. Mm-hmm. We get like daffodils here, which is like a native flower in Wales. We've got it coming out like in January now. They never used to come out till March, and now they're budding already in January. It's just getting crazy, you know. So I don't know what it's like with you guys, but that's what it's like in the UK with the weather and stuff.
How's it going over there in Korea right now, Jaffe, when it comes to the weather over there?
I think he messaged to say be right back.
Okay. Well,
text, you know.
The weather here is, I'd say for the last 3 or 4 years, it's been pretty strange because, I don't know if you remember it or not, but there was a time where I was doing gardening and stuff, and trying to do videos about them.
Oh, I never saw them. No.
Yeah, it's on another hidden channel that I don't share with anybody. but anyhow, I was doing okay with them, but all of a sudden, like, fucking the weather started freaking out and stuff. Like, especially during the fall time, you know what I mean? Like, when you're trying to get a fall garden going, this weather gets so outrageous, man, that it just destroys everything. The wind by itself just literally destroys everything. And I used to always have to freaking start my gardening right up around April. You know what I mean? Right around in that time. Now, in order to get a good garden, now you have to start it around freaking March. Because if you don't have the freaking beds all fixed up and ready to go freaking by the end of March into April, then things get all crazy because you have all the rain and everything, and it's just outrageous. You still have to wait to plant your seeds, but the weather is just crazy. It'll literally just destroy everything. And I have been noticing that. I'm not big on like talking about global warming and everything, you know what I mean? But I've got to admit there is something going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I, it's there's definitely something going on when it comes to the weather.
Some people say we're heading to another ice age. I don't know.
I,
I
I
don't know, but
believe I believe that before I
yeah.
believe global warming. To be honest with you, I
And
mean,
others say the poles are going to switch or something like that. I don't know. You see all this stuff. I don't know. I'm not a weather person, but it does make you wonder what's going on, isn't it?
yeah. Well, the water is supposed to rise, is what they're talking about, and it's
Yeah.
going to cause the Earth to be unbalanced, and then the poles are going to shift. So I don't know if they're talking about the entire planet flipping, or if they're talking about just a magnetic shift. But it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
That's a hearsay, though. What I've heard from it is that's more of a it's more of a theory. I'm not even going to say it's a conspiracy or anything because it's. I mean, conspiracy. There has to be a bad guy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. You don't think powers that be want this to happen, because if they want it to happen, they try to cause. If they're causing it somehow, I mean, well, where are all the slaves going to come from? You know what I mean, where are all the workers going to come from if they destroy the planet, so to speak? Well, it's not going to be in their benefit, is it? So I can't see them being behind it. But stranger things have happened. But I don't know. I don't know what to say really. Stuff like that.
yeah.
Something's definitely changing. It reminded me. I saw a post on Facebook yesterday. Someone showing a picture of the inside of the windows from the patterns the frost used to make. Because when I was young, we just say we didn't have the heating in the house. We had a coal fire. That was pretty much it.
Hmm.
And I thought, my God, I forgot about that, because you don't see it anymore. Most people have got central heating now. Some sort of heaters and electric heaters or something inside. You don't see that anymore. And I thought, my God, I've forgotten all about that. There used to be crazy patterns on the window. When you think about it, you think it makes you think, how can a natural phenomenon actually do that? Because it was just amazing. And I look back at it now, and I just never used to bat an eye. I just thought, oh, it is what it is. I just never thought like what it actually is. I just thought it is what it is, and that
Hmm.
was that.
We've we've
So,
had a relatively warm winter. I mean, here in the last 2-3 weeks has been the coldest that we've had, but it's only like maybe out of the entire winter we've had maybe 2.5 weeks of cold weather, and the rest of it's been like fall. I'm wearing freaking what do they call those, bomber shorts, the ones with the
uh,
pockets and everything. They go down to
yeah,
your knees. I'm wearing them right now. I mean, and I was. It's only been like 2.5 weeks since we've had cold weather below freezing, so I've been walking to the store and coming home with them and stuff like that without any worries and stuff. Wearing shorts, you know. So
yeah. It's a bit probably colder here than with you. I think we had some cold weather last week, bit of snow. It's all gone now, and I think we're going by the forecast. We're heading to be the warmest January on record. It's heading that way, but I don't know. So see what happens. It makes you think again. Why is it happening? Isn't it?
yeah.
But there we go.
Well, I'm not wanting to be a denier, you know what I mean? But I when it comes to like the global warming thing, I just don't support the idea of global warming. Now, like environmental issues and stuff like that, like I climate change, stuff like that's real. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But like what they're pushing on the global warming thing is just insane. Like have you ever seen like a lot of the stuff that they're talking about that's supposed to take place because of global warming?
Some, yeah, some. But I don't really take too much notice of it really, because it's just like scaremongering sometimes, isn't it? You know, they're scared. They're trying to get everyone to go to electric cars and all this, and they don't tell you about how much diesel and stuff is used to actually create an electric car. And then they're going on jets then to all these meetings and stuff. They don't tell you about that, do they? They don't say what the effect that that's got on the global warming or so they whatever they call it. You know,
Yeah.
it seems to be one law for them, one law for us.
I think it's a chance for them to to freaking, it's politics is what it is for one thing. Like they're real big on politics and trying to population control and stuff like that. Like they 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 know that the population has gotten up to what, 7 billion, 7 billion
Yeah.
people now. That's a lot of people on Earth, you know. So instead of them trying to get into exploration like we were doing with NASA and freaking the space programs,
Yeah.
they've turned into freaking people who want to freaking regulate population growth, and they want to worry about how much food is being sent out to the population and stuff like that. It's all about management, and that's all they're wanting to do is try to do that. So they come up with a big freaking scam like global warming so that they can set up all these regulations and force people to freaking budget, basically, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's climate change.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, right? Originally global warming, and then just kind of seamlessly shifted, morphed into, to climate change from global warming. So, yeah. I missed a lot. I'm not sure, was he on a tear there? I was gone for a number of minutes. I had some things to take care of in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But the last I heard was him talking about weather, how it's changed from when he was younger, and it kind of sounded like we're sort of hashing over certain related topics when I got back here. But yeah, there's it's all weaponized. The weather is weaponized. I'm not sure if you've addressed that or not, but absolutely, and it's a massive psyop, is what it is. It's a major. What is the word? It's a hoodwinking of the world's population, and media 3M, right? Just like that big tape, is it tape or glue company or whatever it is, products they produce. First and foremost, I think of tape when I hear 3M, but military, money, and media. Those are the three. That's the three key components, legs of the stool that you require, I guess, to really run the show. And once again, government literally breaks down as meaning it's mind control, governmente. So now, what was John's point? Because did he say that it's getting more mild generally, he finds, since he was younger? It's the same, or colder? Or
more mild.
Yeah, warmer. Yeah.
And where in the UK are you located exactly?
West Wales. West in Wales, in UK. West Wales.
Okay. You know Ross on Wye?
Yeah, I know of it, yeah.
Oh, you haven't? I see.
I've been there.
Right. Okay. Well, I tell you, yeah. I think actually, you're going to get a cold snap here shortly, is what we're hearing. I guess. Have you been following the news of weather reports? I think that's what recently came across
We just had one, but maybe we'll have another one. I don't know, because to be honest, the media is telling us we're having this beast from the east for the last 18 months. Literally, we've had like a day of snow, and that's it. So
beast from the east, is that what they're framing it as?
Yeah, every time hint of cold weather. Oh, it's the beast from the east. Oh, Christ, here we go again.
Yeah. They blame it on us. Everything. Yeah. It's like it's coming from the United States. It's their fault.
Well, it is. Yeah, it almost comes from the United States. Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Do you know what it was when I was a kid? Speaking of taking things back a number of years, it was the yeah, my dad just told me today that the Russians are they're toying with the weather. They're manipulating the kind of weather that we're getting here. And he was right about how weather can be uh, engineered from a technological standpoint. There's no doubt about that. But pinning it all on the Russians, that's pretty ironic, given the fact that I'm not sure if either of you have heard about this World Weather Warfare Treaty that was signed at the UN in Geneva in 1977. That was a big deal, and what it came down to, basically, one of the main things that came out of it all is that governments were under this under the treaty. They were not able to target other foreign peer governments from based out of other foreign regions. But so there was a truce on that front. But when it came to hitting their own people, their own population, total fair game. And I think that's what we're seeing here right now with the chemtrails and the geoengineering business, which so many people I know here living in South Korea utterly clueless when I'm out to lunch when it comes to what's going on in the skies above. But scalar weaponry is one of the major tie-ins, and it's like Lyndon Johnson talked about. Even JFK addressed it, but Lyndon Johnson was the last one. We've got both of them on video and addressing the whole matter about essentially he or those who control the weather will control the world. And that's really what so much of this is all about. In addition to what both of you had earlier hit on and were addressing regarding the rationing, of course, and the real life Hunger Games, the social credit scores, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you got 100 credits, CBDCs. What is it? Yeah, CBDC. Yes, central bank digital credits. But you've been sort of naughty this month, so we're going to reduce that to 75, and you can only buy certain things. You can't purchase any meat this month. That's out of the question because we have to penalize you.
Especially with this new stuff coming up too, like after COVID. You know what I mean? That when you said that right there, that just with this whole COVID epidemic and whenever they started shutting stores down, it's like they're purposely trying to freaking make like a false shortage. You know what I mean? Like making it out like we have a shortage of food and rationing and stuff like that, when in reality that's not the case. You know,
manufactured crisis. Yeah.
They did that in the UK with eggs. They were saying there's a shortage of eggs. Tesco was saying in the UK, and the farmers are saying it's not a shortage at all. They're buying from abroad instead of from us, and because they're hit by the EU tariffs and what have you restrictions, and it's slowed everything down, they make it out as a big crisis. Whereas there's loads of eggs in the UK. You go to any street corner around here, it's eggs for sale. And yet they make out there's a big crisis of we can't get eggs anymore. Put them up to £3 a box, something like this. You can only have 6 eggs, or it was just stupid. Absolutely.
Have you had many of your farms targeted, like in America? I'm not sure if you've been following that, John. It's interesting how Roger. I don't know. Has there been much in that area as of late? There was for a couple months there. It was like one fire after the next. It just wouldn't stop.
here in the United States, it's like not really the fires that are the issue. It's the freaking the media that freaking they're putting out. Like I follow Ag Day, which is real popular here in the United States, where they talk about farming and agriculture and stuff. And they come out, you know, they come out with some of the most outrageous shit. Like they tried to say that we were having a cotton shortage. Then there was a tomato shortage in California because of a drought. And then like 2 months later, they had a freaking storm and the drought went away. You know, just ridiculous stuff. Like they said that we were going to have a cotton shortage, and they were showing footage in Texas. Well, Texas isn't the main state where cotton is grown in the United States, you know what I mean? So they take and they want to show video of this farm in the middle of Texas with freaking a bad cotton field, you know, that's not growing right. It's just stuff like that is what they're pulling. And then like they tried to say that we were going to have shortages on grain and what was it, soybeans and corn. Well, by the end of the year, freaking they had actually gotten more this year than they've had in 3 years. And they mentioned that, and then all of a sudden, like the economists and everything says, well, it's not as good as what it looks. Then they started doing their little tricks to make it sound like we did worse off than what we actually did, you know. That's how they work. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the corporate, the Mockingbird media, absolutely. That's what you're talking about. That's right. The spin doctors gotta always have the spin and the framing of the issues, of course. And it's not so much even what they tell us as what they don't. So I guess in that sense, often omission through or lying through omission. Mm-hmm. But isn't it interesting? You know, because this all ties into it's all related, and a lot of it really leads back to these globalist agencies and elite think tanks and steering committees. Mm-hmm. The most obvious of which, and let's not forget the secret societies and these fraternal orders of, you know, Freemasons, just to name one, that are, you know, they've embedded themselves throughout everything clear across the board, it would seem. But the World Economic Forum, obviously in Davos, now and waging war on misinformation, and disinformation, like wah. You know, it's like they're people who don't believe us. You know, like we don't lie. You know, what do you guys make of that? I mean, come on, jeez.
Well, it seems funny that freaking, you know, here in the United States, everybody ended up getting money handed out to them by the millions and millions through those checks because of freaking COVID. And anybody with common sense knows that freaking they're just not handing free money out. It's going to come from somewhere. So instead of freaking them freaking, you know, not thinking like that, everybody's wondering, well, why are we freaking having a shortage of food, and why is the price of everything going up, and why are we going to war in the Ukraine? Or we're not going to war, it's a proxy war where the United States is sending like all that money they were giving their people to freaking Ukraine now, you know what I mean? And nobody's realizing, man, that money needs to freaking be replaced. I mean, they just can't hand all that money back out, or hand it out and not get it back. So
some of it comes back in the form of arm purchases, presumably weapon sales. A lot of it is pilfered and just disappears into the black hole of Khazarian mafia's unstoppable, inherent, corruption, obviously. But I guess there's a lot of money laundering too, as far as the kickbacks and that sort of thing are concerned when it comes to DNC, Biden's party, right? So
Yeah.
the Democrats are getting a lot of money coming back to them. That's part of the quid pro Joe deal and approach. So, but you're right, of course, that it helps. It leads to it overheats the economy from the standpoint of inflation, I guess, really, and the devaluation of America's currency, the dollar as well. So, did either of you guys hear that? I haven't looked into it, but the Fed just the other day, they have now redefined what money actually means so that it could be more accommodating when it comes to CBDCs.
I think
Either.
if they're going to do that, it's going to be so they can crack down on cryptocurrency too.
Well, and maybe, or at least do whatever it takes to control and dominate. But they did the same thing, I guess, with herd immunity and vaccines, in defining those terms, redefining over the past couple of years, just thinking, I guess, that nobody would really notice this Orwellian kind of
New world
seamless
order.
transition.
That's what it is.
I guess, yeah.
Like all these people talking about the new world order is coming. It's coming. Well, sorry for telling you this, guys, but it's already there. We're already here. This is the new world order. You're just late for the party. You know what I mean?
1984. Orwell's 1984 is coming. Yeah, it's gonna be here soon.
Yeah.
The Armageddon, the apocalypse is coming.
That was 40 years ago, 1984 to now. So you've had 40 years of freaking new world order. How do you like it? All this stuff right now. I mean, and even you, John, you've even said it. There's something different since the year 2000 to now. Okay, and I even agree with it. You look at this world the way it is now compared to freaking before the millennium started, and you can't tell me there isn't a difference. You know what I mean? It's a huge difference, and it's not just technology. It's the way people think, the way they act, everything. I mean,
with me, I don't know if you want to get involved in this conversation today. What I brought up about the year 2000 and another time, I think it was 2012, is about dimension shifts. It's all to do with spiritual stuff. So I don't know if you want to go into that here today.
He likes it. He likes it. That's the only reason why he wants to come on here, so that he can freaking talk to you about dreams and dimensional shifts and stuff.
That's it.
Isn't it right,
Well,
Jeffy?
I did a video because sometimes when I do these videos, I get directed as I'm saying them. I don't even know what I'm going to say half the time. I started off, get an idea in my head. Okay, so I start rabbiting on, and it just comes out. Basically, I believe that we get little dimensional shifts all the time, little ones, small little things, like sometimes you're driving your car and you think, oh, where did the last 10 miles go? It's like you've zoned out. Or sometimes you're think, oh my God, that last hour went quick, because it did go quick. You were in a dimension where time goes quicker, in my view, just my view. And I think that sometimes, on occasion, the human race, certain people in the human race, they shift from one dimension to the next, and the world has seemed exactly the same to the last one, well, at first. As time goes on, you look back thinking, this is not the same, something's not right here, because we've actually moved worlds. Our old world is still there, maybe destroyed even, who knows, it's still there, but we've moved to another shift. And every so often, something serious will come along and we'll move to another shift. And that's my view. I think we've had at least 2 big shifts in my lifetime. In 1999, I think 2000, and around 2012 as well, I think it happened. I'm not 100%. It's just what I feel. And there's certain times in my life I just cannot remember them at all. It's just they're just not in my mind. And yet older stuff, then I can remember as right as rain. And but it's just like certain times, it's just like I cannot remember anything about that spell from 1990 so. I just cannot remember it at all. It's just not in there in my mind, because I think it's to do with this dimensional shift. I think that's what I think has happened. I don't know. Because they say alternate universes, because like when I was young we had the Cold War and Russia against America and all that, and nothing ever came of it. But in an alternate universe, something might have come of it. You know what I mean? And because we're not in that world anymore, we shifted to another world, we don't realise that. We just think it all blew over. But maybe in our original world, they blew us, everybody got blown up. Who knows? You know? That's just my view. I can't say it's concrete. It's just what I've sort of been led to to see and believe. Maybe not believe, but just led to be open to. You know, that's really I don't say I believe it. I'm just open to the theory of it. That's more how I feel about it. So, but getting back to politics, there's no one more corrupt in the UK than the Conservative Party. The leader, you see it all the time. He's making deals he's making things to come into the country, or we've made a deal with so and so. What he's not telling you is his wife owns a company that's done the deal to benefit the UK, and his wife's behind it all, earning the money from it.
Is that the PM? Rishak?
Yeah.
What's his name? Rishak?
Rishak, is it? I don't recall it. Yeah. The
Indian guy.
Yeah.
I was going, before you get too carried away with politics, so I was just going to follow up on the interdimensional or transdimensional sort of business, and a lot of talk. I know, like, my life, looking back in the last 25 years in particular, just such a blur. And there's certain, a lot of stuff that stands out, of course, but how 1 year really just blurs and blends into the next, unless, I suppose, a person is keeping a diary, of which this is partly what we're doing here, really, for posterity's sake. But the truth of the matter is, I rarely go back and listen to the shows that I've ever been a part of, unless there's something that really is it's critical that I revisit. So, with the past 25 years, it's just amazing to look at this business of Alpha and Omega more than anything, and it's just it's the eternal now, and even just when we draw our final breath, in whatever context that happens to find it, it's still now, and there's really like past and the future and past, like an illusion, really, because it's how can you escape the now, I guess, is one of my questions. But timelines was another. I was just going to add to the business of dimensional talk and reflection, I suppose. So does that have anything? Well, two things: timelines, John, if that means anything to you, or if that dovetails with what you're talking about. And secondly, David Icke being a resident of the UK in particular, I'm guessing, and with you being here with us, the sort of things that Roger, I know, likes to get into. David Icke, someone who's maybe influenced your thinking to some extent. You've heard of the man.
I heard of him, but I've very rarely watched much of his stuff, to be honest.
Okay.
Crazy enough, I haven't. No.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of gonna go. I was like, oh wow, no. Anybody else I could say that about, but John is a very unusual dude. Like he never freaking listens to David Icke at all. I'm like, wow.
So John's a hermit, kind of mystical, leaning hermit character, is he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's been doing this stuff for years too, and he he doesn't get into Maxwell. He doesn't get into David Icke. None of that. It's like he's just been trucking along on his own.
With
Well,
with me,
do you read
it's-
much, John, or what do you what is it that how do you shape your thinking or your outlook on the world and your sense of self, I suppose, self identity?
How can I explain it? I've had a spiritual awakening back in '85, and pretty much my journey's gone from there in different forms.
How much
sort of-
acid did you take?
No, it was through religion. I've never taken any acid ever, and my life
Okay.
actually had the
Wow.
same.
Oh my God. You were
I actually had the
stone
same
cold sober?
symptoms. Yeah, I have not actually had the same symptoms as someone who had taken acid when I had my awakening. I was seeing like demons, angels everywhere. I was seeing all sorts of stuff. I was prophesizing about the future, and a lot of some of it's come true, some of it's not quite yet come true.
It wasn't like a mental breakdown of any sort at all?
It's no, it's like how I view it is when we're connected to the other side by silver cord. Yeah, you've heard the silver cord being mentioned before and stuff. A silver cord, to me, is like the spiritual version of umbilical cord, where a baby connects to his mother. The silver cord connects you to your higher self, the spirit realm, whatever you want to call it. And every child is born with the ability to be aware and be connected to the spirit realm, but mainly down to this world's conditioning, I sort of said they're just programmed not to be open to it, basically. Like you've all heard the stories about a child has got an imaginary friend. Oh, you think, you haven't got, he's not real. Well, maybe he is, but to that child he's real, and now we realise that, I'm told he's not to be real anymore, and he shuts him out. Or if a child is say can see ghosts, or if a child is connected in other ways to the spirit realm, again by the parents who say no, you don't want to do that, and they condition him to shut it out. And most people go through their lives looking for something, not knowing what. They buy material stuff. They're looking for that connection, but they can't get it. And certain people become awakened, like I did, and some people are fortunate enough to keep their connection from when they're born right throughout their lives. A lady I interviewed, 200 people I interviewed, had that situation, and my dog is scratching the wall now, which is really annoying. Distracting me. And it's to do with that. It's a connection. With me, my connection has grown massively over the last few months. And in that connection, I view life through spiritual, I suppose my spiritual eyes, and so to speak. I got not... dog's really annoying me now. He's like... that's the only way I can describe it. I look through my eyes through my connection, everything through that way. I'm not one that looks into the past. I'm not really one that looks into the... Sorry, I've just got to shut my dog up. He's really annoying me.
Yeah, I had this thing muted. I was like, he's going to end up having to get up and let that dog out.
Got the same thing here with these three cats.
Just really distracted. I couldn't get my train of thought. He's still doing it now.
Don't worry about it. So this is fascinating. So and
sorry.
You've connected with us on Twitter, from what I can tell. You've got your own podcast project on the go. Is that right?
Yeah, I got a spin-off channel. I started putting my podcast on this channel, and my enlightened interviews, and some of them still here, but I branched off into my own solo channel because they weren't really well received on this channel, because I built this channel up to 144,000 subs at its peak by making ghost videos, paranormal videos, and stuff like that. Put them to music, make like mini movies out of them. So when I came along there and started talking about spiritual stuff, people were like, what the fuck is going on here? And they don't like it,
So what channel are you live with Roger Hanson, or what channel are you talking about?
This is Wonderful World of Weirdness.
Yeah.
Oh,
big channel,
right.
So
Okay.
my own solo channel is called Mystical Awakenings TV. That's very new. It's only been going for about 2 months.
That's right.
So that's what I put all
Okay.
my solo podcasts on now. Is on there. All my new ones go on there now, and my interviews and stuff. Because again, I got directed to do that. It's going to be strange maybe to you or to other people, but it was like I was before Roger came on board on One Food doing this. I was very disheartened with the way my videos were doing on One Food this. I was quite despondent the way they were going on there. And I happened to be talking to someone one day who actually I interviewed, a really, really high up spiritual lady, amazing person, from America. And I said to her, do you know, I think I might just make a new channel. And as soon as I said it, I got shown. I get like pictures, images. I got shown that if I made another channel, that it was going to fly. And I thought, oh wow. And once I got shown that, there was only one thing I was going to do. I had to make another channel, and that's what I did. So it's just gone from there. It hasn't flown yet, but it's doing really well for the stage it's at. It's doing really well. I'm very pleased with it so far. So that's the reason for that.
Do you actively? How much time do you actively invest in these projects?
Not too much now. Now I did on this channel years ago. I put a lot of time into it. I was sharing it to about 50 Facebook groups a day. Videos. I was making videos every single day. I was.
This is the wonderful world of weirdness you're talking about now. Is that right?
Yeah, give him a sec. Give him a second. I think he had a hiccup. So
He's did he mute himself intentionally?
No, what happened is he's well, he even warned it before the stream. He said there's bad weather and everything, so it might be cutting in and out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, John is when it comes to all this stuff, he's probably the most original person I've met when it comes to it. He's probably the only reason why I even got interested in paranormal stuff and UFOs and conspiracy theories and things of that nature because of the channel that he's got, and it's just and he's never been influenced by people like David Icke or George Maxwell.
Jordan.
Yeah, I always say his name wrong, but Jordan Maxwell. He's never been influenced by those people. It just like on his alien UFO stuff, man. He just started sitting down and making freaking videos of it, going through and finding sightings and editing it and making his own videos and just all from his own stuff, you know what I mean? Like he didn't have like somebody that was guiding him or anything in that, and things of that nature, and like the ghosts, sightings and paranormal stuff. That's how he first started doing it, and just here recently he started doing interviews like we've been doing, and that's within I'd say the last year or so. Well, since
couple months, he said, I think.
Yeah, a couple. Well, it could have been more. I know it started right after I started doing it, and I think that was around, August, I believe. It was right around in August. So,
have you had any UFO sightings, or do you know, are you connected in any way in that level to anything?
When it comes to UFOs, I always said, that I never did, and I keep forgetting, like, one time when I was younger, it was when we lived in Arizona, and it might have been a UFO, it might not have, because we lived next to an Air Force base called Williams Air Force Base at the time.
Right.
Now it's called Gilbert Airport in Gilbert, Arizona, but back then it was an Air Force base, and my dad worked at a dairy farm, and each night, every other night, we'd go down and get milk from the barn because you could get it for free, and me and my sisters had to walk down there, man, and we seen a freaking, like, how they got those UFO sightings where they're freaking kind of like a triangle shape.
Yeah, TR3Bs. Those are said to be man-made. Actually, like they've reverse engineered the technology. Is what the experts tell us.
Right. Well,
Do you know about that? You've heard that story?
when I was, yeah, I know about them. I've heard about them, but I didn't know about it at the time. And it was in like 80s. It was in the 80s whenever it happened.
Right.
And we were walking, man, and it was just sitting, hovering up in the air. And first off, in my head, I was thinking it was just a airplane. But then my sisters pointed out, like, there's no engines. There's no sound of an engine. It's just floating.
And it's not moving.
Yeah, it was just floating.
Yeah.
And I remember that, but I always forget it. And then my sisters always remind me, well, you remember that, don't you? Because I used to always argue with my sister about UFOs and ghosts.
But hang on. So you were walking to pick up some milk, correct?
Yeah, because we lived real close to the barn. And
right.
We used to walk back and forth with it. You know
okay,
what I mean?
So there was one object up in the sky. It was a triangular shaped craft. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And how long was it there for? Well, as you were walking, would it be a couple of minutes?
Being honest, I don't ever remember it even moving. I mean, because we had to get to the barn. You know what I mean? And it was like, I mean, that's how insignificant it was to me at the time. I looked up, I seen it.
Interesting.
And I thought, it was an airplane. And that's when
How far was it from you, would you say?
Oh, it was up in the air. I'd say
100 meters.
It would have had to have been about, it would have had to been around maybe 15 foot is a underpass for an interstate, so I would say it was a good 50 to 75 foot high up in the air.
Away from you.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so close, man. And how large of a craft was this? It probably of some size, I'm guessing.
It was about the size of a jet. I mean, a jet engine, but it was sitting still. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and it was like you could throw a baseball and hit it.
Well, no, we're talking about 75 to 100 feet. That's pretty high. Like an underpass for an interstate is like 15 feet. So you take that and you
6, 7, 8 times that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see.
mean,
Okay.
You couldn't throw a baseball and hit it, but I mean it was close enough to where you could look at it, and it was at night, so it wasn't in the daytime. So.
Oh, and it had lights.
Yeah, it had lights. It had red lights, I believe it was.
All around the edges of the.
Well, it didn't. It didn't have like the all around the edges and stuff. It had blinking lights. I know there was blinking lights on it, and they were red, and they were all on the corners because that's how I could make out the shape of it. You know what I mean? But that was the only time that I've actually seen a possible UFO. And like you said, it could have been reversed engineered. It could have been a ship from freaking the Air Force Base, because like Williamson Air Force Base was right next door. So.
Right.
So it could have been.
Well, that's quite a story.
Experimental craft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And does John have stories of that kind as well, or anything to that effect?
Nope. Never seen a UFO. No.
Okay. Never. You've heard enough stories, though, I guess, from others.
God, yeah. Done a videos.
Your wonderful world of weirdness. It was mostly ghost stories, then,
Ghosts.
Yeah. And UFOs.
Yeah, I started off UFOs, ghosts, teleportation, stuff like that videos, and then the ghosts seem to be the ones that got the views, so I went into that stream then. Yeah.
Oh yeah, how about that? Have you ever seen ghosts or spirits of any kind?
Oh yeah, got
How many would you say?
I'm not sure. Quite a few. um,
What?
Shadow people, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, okay. Is your house haunted?
No, no. I had a spirit of a little girl lived here for a while, who had heart condition. Or had heart condition leading to when she died. But she's gone now. So yeah.
So she told you this?
I don't know. I just knew it. Can't really sure how I knew it, but I just knew it. And she used to hide stuff, stuff like that. You know, mischievous, nothing nasty.
Right.
And a healer friend of mine who's like a mentor as well. I told him about it, and he said, you've got to say to her that she has to leave, because I think she was
Stuck.
clinging on to sort of attracted to me because of trauma that I went through near that time, which I'm not going to bring in
Really?
onto here. And so I did. I focused on saying to her she should go, go to the light or whatever, go. And it was an amazing emotional experience. I sensed her go in, and it was like, wow. I can't say I actually saw it, I just sensed it, and it was like, oh my god, that was so emotional. And then she was gone. She's never been back since.
How many times did you see her before that?
I don't know, quite a bit. It was just in my mind's eye. You just like see her briefly. I can't really say.
Would she materialize in front of you then, or
no, nothing like that?
manifest?
No, it's just more like you'd see like for a split second, not like that way. I tend to see stuff in my mind's eye more than anything. Shadow people are the ones that freak me out the most.
What's that? Well, how does that work then? When you see, I don't understand. You see something in your mind's eye. It's like you're talking. It sounds like intuition is what you're talking about.
Have you ever
Yeah,
heard
they call
of
it that,
third
yeah.
eye,
Did I? Yeah.
Jaffe?
Third eye.
Yeah. It's
Interesting. But is that intuition?
It's in between.
Yeah, linked, I think.
Intuition
Are you ever
has a part of it. You know the pineal gland.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
The theory behind it is the pineal gland is connected to the third eye, and the third eye is supposed to be on your eye or on your brow, right between your eyes, and that's the focus point. So when people are referring to their third eye, that's generally what they're talking about. So
yeah, the whole business with fluoride and decalcification.
Yeah.
Well, and the war on consciousness. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Going back to this whole business once again of the term government itself, meaning, if you break it down, gubermente, literally mind control. So, and for me, and I'm sure for many others as well, the question can only be, who governs who? Who controls your mind? Who's really in charge of your life and your thoughts? And now we have things like Wi-Fi and 5G, let alone this what's been going on for years now with big media, the Mockingbird media, television, of course, movies and the like. But the news is the big one, of course. Whether newspapers as well. Let's not forget magazines, the gamut, really. But and then the hijacking of consciousness. So and the prohibition of things like weed, for example, or what have you. Why are some substances actively promoted and made more generally available, whereas others are kept strictly prohibited?
Well, actually,
generally
Jeffy,
pretty harsh sentences.
Since we've actually been able to get everybody together and stuff, you've been wanting to talk to John, if you remember too, because we were talking about your dream.
I'll get him. I'd like to interview him. Actually, have him on Late Night in Korea. That'll probably work the best. I'd love to do that.
Well, I mean, you remember your dream, right? Your dream.
Which my dream?
Yeah, the one that you were talking about with.
Which one?
The one where you had a vision of the future, I think it was.
You sure it was me?
Yeah, you mentioned it on your show.
Okay, what was it dealing with? What exactly?
Oh God, now I gotta remember it. It was back during Christmas.
Well, the war. Actually, I've had this
Yeah,
business of what took
uh,
place in
World War Z, wasn't it?
kind of, yeah, October 7th, and it was just the night before, that the news was announced, and I woke up the next day and all hell was breaking loose. So and it was one of these things where I woke up and oh boy, we've probably, all of us, I'm sure John and presumably Roger as well, but as an example with dreams, you wake up and it's just, you can feel really good and refreshed, or you can feel kind of freaked out, and like there's more a negative sort of vibe to things. But this is one where I was convinced that, and just didn't quite understand how World War III, as it were, was actually basically kicking off, taking place, and starting based on the dream that I had, which was more like a video game once again. Do you remember? This is the story that you're talking about, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Roger. So there were, and I didn't see the soldiers all that clearly, but it was this, they're back in, obviously adversarial forces going at one another with kind of laser sort of shooting, and like laser type. It wasn't like bullets so much as laser technology, and it was like a video game. But the feeling that I got from it was that it was really heavy and intense, profound, that, oh, what the hell's going on? This is not supposed to happen. Speaking of timelines and the like, because we just live in such a bizarre this existence life where we find ourselves as humans at this time. Meta modern, it's like you hear about the modern age, and postmodern. Well, I guess now really it's meta modern, and we're living in the future. So but I've got no doubt what we saw unfold on October 7th. I had a stinking suspicion right off the get-go, as was September 11th. It's like, well, okay, let's wait for the truth to come out now, and lo and behold, yeah, it was once again an inside job, and they had these plans. It was an off-the-shelf type operation that had been known about in the military circles for at least a year or so. The exact.
So let me kind of get this
blueprint.
straight though. Like, you've had more than one incident with dreams that kind of go along with this.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of dreams that were not prophetic as well too. Although the Bruce Springsteen one was quite something, as an example. In recent memory, I should be more disciplined in writing these things down. Maybe that can be part of my New Year's resolution, along with writing more songs, is what I've been trying to do, dedicating myself to guitar music, and really focusing. I don't know if either of you guys are into music or play music or know much about theory, but the scales, and the keys and that sort of thing. Practice. So, and developing a better ear and feel for things. So, but yeah, Springsteen was performing at the White House in for the inaugural ceremony, as is pretty much the way it unfolded, in support of crooked Joe Biden. And this is a few weeks before it was announced that would be the case, and then it finally came to be. So there was one other, just off the top of my head here, dream that I had where stepmother, at the time, she's no longer part of the picture. But this was really intense dream where she was having health problems, and it was in her reproductive area, stomach, basically, and had a sense that there's something wrong with her down there. And lo and behold, I just shortly thereafter spoke to my father, and he said that, yeah, she had just recently gone in for, to address problems that she was having in that, that part of her body. So, I guess if we're open to it, I'm pretty sure any of us can do the same thing. If it's a question of attunement, presumably, attunement and atonement, speaking of music and the like. But what do you think about that, John? Attunement and atonement. Are you much of a wordplay sort of guy?
He's from Wales.
I don't know. I mean, he's bardic then in some ways, and he should be a little bit of a poetic flair, presumably.
You're on mute.
He's muted out.
He muted himself. There you go.
Sorry. Yeah, I write songs. I can write songs. I write music, and I'm a guitarist and stuff. But semi-retired
cool.
now.
Have you recorded so we can access some of the music you recorded?
Yeah, I have, but
Great.
it's no longer on Spotify, so I'd have to sort of find somewhere to get it on the internet again. So
you're active on Minds, right?
I'm on Minds, yeah, and old John on Minds.
Okay,
yeah.
Good, because we have a showcase coming up. It's a Minds World Indie Music Showcase, and that's the what is that? It's coming up shortly in the next couple of weeks. So if we can get access to some of your music that you like us, if it's okay, if we can share it.
Yeah, I tried to do it. Yeah, it's from 14 years ago now. No, 14.
That's
13
fine.
years ago I made it.
Make sure we get a chance to hear your best efforts. So, was it multi-tracked?
Yeah, it's on CD. I've got them on CD in the garage. I got 50 CDs of them in the garage. Yeah.
Did you tour back in the day, or just play local pubs, or what exactly?
My original band, we did some tours, yeah. But this recording, it was just two of us recorded the CD. We called ourselves Phoenix Rising, and the title of the album was called What's Going On, about a song I wrote in 1990 about pretty much the state of the world now, called What's Going On. That's a title song, and I wrote two songs then. One was about the end of the world, which I scrapped because it freaked me out so much. It was like, oh, what the hell's it? And I chucked it away. And the other one was What's Going On, but I sort of kept that, and that ended up on this album. Because I basically was in a band called Wildfire, and I wrote a 2.5 hour set. We had 2.5 hours of music, but none of us ever recorded. It's a shame, because we didn't have the access to record so easy back then, which was 1989, like you've got to record stuff now, We didn't have the way to do it. We didn't have a 4-track. We had no gear to do it back then. But but getting back to your prophetic dream about your mother-in-law, I don't know if you got what I was saying earlier because I lost connection, but as I was trying to say is we're connected to the other side, and how well we're connected affects how our life on where we are now, so to speak. Like, so you've got an ability to from dreams to see the future. Obviously you've got it. Doesn't mean that every dream you have is going to be a view in the future. The fact is that you've got that ability. Now you can either, like a dog starting again, I don't know what's going on today. It's to do, you either develop it or you don't. And the easiest way is meditating and make a note of what you see when you meditate and really go from there. It's the only real advice I could give you on that. It's just that, because we all of us got this connection with the side, but most of us, it's just it's very weak connection. Like you're on a phone. You know the old phones used to have landline, and you're speaking to someone abroad, you could hardly hear them, all the interference. Well, that's sort of like in a spiritual connection. It's most people have got a weak connection, others have got a stronger connection, and it's just the same way. That's how I view it. That's how I view it. You know, with me. That's when I can really explain it. So.
Well, yeah, and meditation, healthy living, good eating. You know, they say you are what you eat, and I really do believe it goes beyond that to the point of we are what we consume, not just on a level and from the standpoint of food, but also pop culture, of course. Things like movies, books, television, radio, media of all kinds, and even just the sort of conversations that you engage in with people. So there's a Sanskrit term, it's called samskara, and English and many scholars have argued that English and Sanskrit, they bear certain parallels and similarities that can be found from the root etymological standpoint, the root basis of things. And I think this is one example where the samskara really jumps out at me. I know, and the term itself is meant to convey a sense of leaving an impression on our consciousness. So even the words that what I'm trying to communicate and share with you two at present, and will presumably be heard by a wider audience. Either, I'm not sure if I guess we're live streaming right now.
We're live
through
streaming.
Rumble. Yeah, but also the things will be archived just a little further on down the road. But it's kind of like karma, really. Action, reaction, equal yet opposite effect. There's that, but at the same time, there's good karma, obviously, and positive, wholesome things that we can pursue and cultivate, and then unwholesome as well too, given the fact that we have free choice for the most part. So be careful, because just we've got to be on guard and watch out the fact that we are what we eat, not only once again from a dietary standpoint, but also the friends that they say choose your friends carefully. That's quite well known, and I believe it to be quite true. But it's one of the reasons I've kind of I'm not sure if you say sworn off porn necessarily, but no, it's an example. It's an example of something that is just not.
You said sworn off, like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How that's like adding insult to injury. Just on top of it all, you're swearing. Fuck's sakes! Oh God, yeah. Oh, so yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah.
It's kind of ironic.
Son of a bitch! You dirty little slut! You nasty little.
Now,
whatever. So.
We've come up to an hour and 8 minutes. So, if you guys want to, we can cut this short and then come back and maybe do another conversation. And you said you wanted to do an interview at some time with John too, so if you guys want to do something together, that'd be cool. I think it'd be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, just gotta check the calendar if he's up for it. And we'd be connecting late night here in Korea, kind of afternoonish via the UK. John, what kind of schedule do you have throughout the course of the week? Are you self-employed, unemployed? You work out of the house, or?
Well, I work. I'm a carer for my son, so I'm sort of restricted to school hours, pretty much. Which is, I think I spoke to you before. I think you do your show about 2:30 UK time, which is just when I'm on the road to picking my son up. So it would be impossible for me to speak to you around that time.
Now,
Oh, right.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think I spoke
so
to you before the
that's why
last year.
yeah, I
that's why it's
forgot.
so
I guess
important
we have to.
for this hour to do it, because like it's his only free time.
Oh,
So
Yeah, it's pretty much between
oh,
10 and 2 is
oh,
my time for
yeah.
recording and
Okay.
stuff.
Oh well, but okay. Here's the thing: is if we did it live, and I'd rather do it live than pre-record. But we will not have much of a Western audience at all. They'll mostly all be sleeping. Like, what time is it back there in the West for you right now, Roger? It's like,
it's
geez,
5. No, well, it's going on 6 now. 6 in the morning.
why, and why is it that you choose this particular time slot? Is it to accommodate everyone from around the world as best you can?
Pretty much. John is me and John do this show together, so like
Yeah.
you can't have freaking one without the other, so he's got to be on here
Yeah.
too. So
Oh, well, this is great, and yeah, no, and if I'd love to, I'd love to reconnect. Naroki by now, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah.
On through Skype. So
yeah.
yeah. So in the past, I've tried to work with him a little bit on a similar basis, but it's always like juggling the schedules around, and it's can be a little tricky. But this is great. This is a really excellent for me to sit in and be a part of something with somebody. Although I would like to, I mean, just to show people that it's not a question of being afraid to be on camera or anything like that. It's more, it is a philosophical thing when we're doing our shows, that I'd rather just everyone focus on the issues and try to follow the stream of consciousness as best they can. Yeah, they have a slideshow. Well, we often provide a slideshow, but that the person should not be
the center of attraction. Right.
Yeah, and there's just so much in the way of. I just get really sick of watching the what seems to be largely ego-driven exhibitionism on the part of so many, where they're just a little too overly dramatic and hamming it up for the camera, So
We've had some comments on chat.
Yeah.
Finally.
3D the Destroyer. I've been listening for 10 or 15 minutes and haven't heard any real information. Is there any purpose to this stream? A topic?
We just go out there.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Bring it on. He's destroying us big time.
I mean,
like Howard Stern in a sock.
It's like freaking. It's called Old Men Talking. That's the topic, man. You know what I mean? It's like
we sort of vary it. Different topics.
Actually, tonight and tonight's show, you said there was no topic per se.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. But what have we covered now? Up to this point, we've talked about things like climate change and weather warfare and the use of Tesla technology, which nobody ever talks about.
Yeah.
And the hijacking, I mean, you're talking about
what have we not covered within an hour? You know what I'm saying? It's like
realm of the paranormal, current events. Dreams, of course.
Apparently, he wasn't listening for 15 minutes like he said he was, because if he did, he'd have heard a whole bunch of topics.
Yeah. So
unless he's just catching the last end of the show, which we haven't really been covering anything so serious the last 10 minutes, have we? Maybe.
No, you guys have been talking a lot of seriously good stuff in the last 10-15 minutes. I mean, we had that little hiccup with the weather and everything, but after that,
we're just getting warmed up.
But it's like I said, if you guys want to, we can call it quits now, and then we'll set something up there on an interview if you want to do it with each other. Have a conversation and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm looking actually at the schedule here, and see the way we're going to do things. We're going to stagger it actually. So I'm actually reducing the amount of live streams and shows that I'm doing this year, mostly because we've got 8 years of content archived via
Mm-hmm.
BitChute and Odyssey, WPRPN.com. That's WPRPN, World Pirate Radio Podcast Network, the People's Pirate Network.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, and the thing is, it's I don't feel we really have. Now, what would be great is that if we could get more in the way of people sharing our links and helping to promote the interviews and news shows that we've put out there, the business of Operation Secret Santa, and so on and so forth, all the different angles to what's going on here. Our involvement, as it's gone down now throughout the years, are with respect to Minds.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's another really interesting angle. So and we, half of everything that we do generate in the way of donations goes directly back to charity, largely in support of this Operation Secret Santa annual campaign, charity relief and outreach extravaganza, Christmas extravaganza. Why do no other larger, more established social media entities pursue a similar type course? I just don't understand, I just really don't get it. Why is that so difficult? So it's really unfortunate, but you don't hear much about that at all, sadly. And there's just so much good that they could help to produce and bring about if that were the case.
It's just
Sort
crazy.
of the priorities were sort of recalibrated, reassessed. So, but
Yeah. After the stream, let's talk about it and everything, and we
yeah,
can
just
come
briefly.
together. I've actually got my spreadsheet set up with the time zone differences, so I
Mm-hmm.
can make it a little bit easier for you guys if you want to know what'd be a good time. So
Okay, I'm just looking at the calendar here as well, and yeah, we'll just we'll get this addressed behind the scenes and take it from there. It should be pretty straightforward.
okay.
But the fact is, the point I never finished making is we're going to stagger things so that 1 week it'll be late night in Korea, and the next week it'll be a Friday night feature show.
That's cool.
Late night in Korea, Friday night feature show, so on and so forth. But with ideally with the weekly news running each and every Tuesday night or Wednesday afternoon here via the Seoul time zone, which is that's pretty early for the UK folks. Actually, yeah, it's
Yeah,
about four.
like 6
It's
in the
early.
morning.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah. So, John, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, we can wrap up the show and we can just carry on talking on Jitsi for if you want. So just wrap
Yeah,
up the show.
just wrap up the show. That's what I
Yeah.
was trying to
Yep.
say.
Just stay on Jitsi. We're just going to stop the
Stay
end
in
of the show.
chat, like
Yeah.
right here. Well, yeah, I guess Jitsi. There's chat and then there's Jitsi. My bad. But
Yeah,
just-
like we're talking. I mean, if you sort stuff out, we can just wrap the show up. Just stay on here for a few
yeah,
minutes or so. And just
stay on and
yeah.
have the conversation. So
yeah.
So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream and everything, and after that, you guys stay on and we will continue the conversation. I want to thank everybody for watching and appreciate everybody's comments, even if it was a kind of trollish comment. It's okay. We aren't hateful. We aren't trying to hate on nobody, are we, John?
No, not this week anyway.
Not this week. Not yet.
We're gonna find this world destroyer, whoever he thinks he is. We're gonna track him down, and he's gonna pay.
Got the pirate on him.
Hold that son of a bitch accountable. yeah, sick art. Yeah, pirate ass.
So with that, I will go ahead and say goodbye, and thank you everybody.